Have you ever felt like the world is speeding up, but somehow you're the one falling behind? Like everyone else has updates, notifications, achievements, highlights, and you're just sitting there wondering how to even start your day. If you've ever felt that way, relax, you're not broken. You're just human, living in a world that's become a little too digital. Today we're talking about something simple but essential: how to stay human in a hyper-digital world. Because honestly, technology is amazing. It makes us faster, smarter, more connected. But at the same time, it can make us mentally exhausted, emotionally numb, and spiritually misplaced. Let's start with something we've all been through. You pick up your phone just to check the time, and suddenly, 40 minutes have passed, and you're watching a video of a cat becoming the CEO of an imaginary company. You don't even remember how you got there. Technology is magic, but like sugar, too much gives you a kind of mental diabetes. Slowly, we forget something important. We're not machines. We're not built to live at the speed of notifications. We're not designed to process 300 pieces of information in 10 minutes. We're not meant to be available 24/7. And most importantly, we're not meant to live inside a screen. The biggest challenge today isn't how do we master technology, it's how do we stay human while using it. And the strange thing is, the harder we try to keep up with the digital world, the more we lose something precious: presence, calm, and the ability to truly feel. Have you ever sat with someone physically, but it felt like their mind was somewhere else? They're there, but not there. They're waiting for updates, waiting for messages, waiting for the next thing to appear on their screen. It's not their fault. It's a sign of how the digital world slowly pushes out the real one. It starts to feel like this: your body lives in the real world, your mind lives in the digital world, and your heart, sometimes it gets lost in between. We've become a generation that can send 1,000 heart emojis, but freezes when asked to express love in person. We type LOL without actually laughing. We say I'm fine while completely worn out inside. We live in an era where everyone is connected, yet many feel alone. But beneath all of that, we all want the same thing: to feel alive, to feel present, to feel human. And that begins when we take back the control we slowly handed over to technology. Before we go deeper, let's make one thing clear. Technology is not the enemy. The internet is not the villain. The problem isn't that technology exists. The problem is that we forget our limits. And here's something fascinating. In countless studies on happiness, the things that make people feel most alive are not money, not achievements, not popularity, not likes. Those things give excitement, but not meaning. Meaning comes from human connection. Connection that AI can't replace. Connection that algorithms can't imitate. Connection that grows from eye contact, from listening without distraction, from comfortable silence, from laughter that isn't forced. But today, that kind of connection is rare, because our attention is constantly pulled towards something faster, brighter, louder, more stimulating. That's why so many people feel tired even when they've done nothing. It's not physical exhaustion, it's mental overflow. It's why people feel empty despite being endlessly entertained. It's why people feel disconnected while being constantly online. If you feel that way, it's not a weakness. It's proof that you're still human. So how do we stay human? How do we remain soft in a world that's becoming automated? How do we stay present when everything is designed to distract us. How do we keep our humanity alive in a world that moves faster than our emotions can follow? The answer is simpler than you think. You don't need to throw your phone away. You don't need to escape to the mountains. You don't need to live like it's 1995. You just need one thing: to remember that having limits is not a flaw. It's your greatest strength. In the next parts, we'll dive deeper into balancing technology, protecting your mind, strengthening your presence, and reconnecting with the side of you that the digital world often tries to silence.
Let's be honest for a moment. How many times a day do you feel busy when in reality you're just jumping from one app to another? Sometimes we think our minds are full, but the only thing that's actually full is our phone storage. In this part, we dive deeper into the real issue. Technology speeds up everything, except our ability to understand how we feel. We have access to everything, yet we slowly lose touch with ourselves. And the funny part? Most of the time, we don't even notice. We scrolled to relieve stress, but end up more stressed. We look for entertainment, but become emotionally numb. We search for connection, but end up comparing ourselves to everyone else. It's like drinking salt water. The more you drink, the thirstier you get. And slowly, we start believing an illusion that if we don't keep up, we'll fall behind. That if we don't stay updated, we'll be forgotten. That if we don't respond instantly, we're less than. But the truth is, the things we chase the hardest online are often the things that don't matter at all in the long run. We live in a culture of speed. And because of that, we forget how to live with presence. So let's start from something simple but powerful. Silence. Silence feels strange, doesn't it? In a digital world, silence is almost threatening. The moment things go quiet, we instinctively reach for our phones. Open messages, open apps, open whatever can fill the empty space. But it's in that empty space that we rediscover ourselves. When was the last time you sat quietly, without doing anything? No music, no scrolling, no notifications, just you and your thoughts. If your answer is, I can't remember, then you're not alone. It just means you have a huge opportunity to reconnect with your humanity. Because being human means giving yourself room to feel what you want, what you fear, what you hope for, what you love. In the digital world, many people stop feeling not because they can't, but because they don't have time to. And here lies the biggest problem. Technology speeds up the mind, but not the heart. The mind can process fast, but the heart needs time. Your heart needs pauses. Your heart needs slow moments. Your heart needs presence. That's why so many people feel empty, even when their lives look full. Full of information, but lacking experience. Full of notifications, but lacking connection. Full of entertainment, but lacking meaning. So how do we rebuild that connection with ourselves? We start with something simple. Slow down. Slowing down doesn't mean being lazy. It doesn't mean being unproductive. It means taking back control. It means listening more. It means choosing your pace instead of letting the world choose it for you. Try slowing down in one tiny moment. Your attention. For example, when you drink water in the morning, don't scroll. Don't multitask. Just drink it. Feel the temperature. Feel your breath. Feel your body waking up. It sounds small, but that's where your humanity gets stronger again. Or try eating without your phone. Once upon a time, eating was a social ritual. Now it's something we do with a screen in front of us. We're losing taste, not just for food, but for life. Bring that back. Not because it's old-fashioned, but because it makes you alive. These small habits may feel strange at first, but think of them as exercises for your attention, a muscle that's been weakened by endless stimulation. And something beautiful happens when you practice this. You start feeling calm again. Not the kind of calm you get from a vacation or a spa, but a deeper calm. The calm that comes from simply being present. And from here, we can move towards something deeper, creating a healthy relationship with technology. Not extreme detox, not throwing your phone away, but realistic, sustainable balance. Your relationship with technology is just like your relationship with food. Eat too much, you get sick. Starve yourself, you get weak. Balance is everything. You must know when enough is enough, when to stop, when to rest, when to choose the real world over the digital one. Because the internet is like an ocean. You can use it to sail, or you can drown in it. The difference lies in whether you stay in control. And slowly, you'll realize something important. You can live with technology, but you don't have to live inside it. You can use it as long as it doesn't use you. In the final part, we'll talk about the core of everything. How to rebuild empathy, presence, emotional strength, and a sense of meaning in a world where almost everything is automated.
Now we've reached the heart of everything, how to stay human in a world that's becoming more digital by the second. Not by rejecting technology, not by escaping it, but by remembering what makes us human in the first place. And it all begins with one simple truth: awareness. Awareness that your attention is your most valuable asset. Awareness that your time is the only thing you can't recharge like a battery. Awareness that your emotions deserve space, not suppression. Let's talk about something almost everyone struggles with today: comparison. Online, everyone looks happier, healthier, richer, more productive, more romantic, more disciplined, more successful, and it makes you wonder, am I doing enough? But here's the secret. They're human too. They have fears, bad days, quiet breakdowns, private failures, doubts they don't share, moments they hide. What you see online isn't their life, it's their commercial. You're comparing your behind the scenes with somebody else's highlight reel. If you want to stay human, stop comparing your real life to someone's curated version of theirs. That illusion makes you forget your worth. It makes you forget that your story matters even without filters and applause. The next step to stay human is this: feel your emotions. Today, the moment we feel sadness, we scroll. The moment we feel anxious, we distract ourselves. Lonely? Open a chat. Confused? Watch a video. Overwhelmed? Escape to content. We treat emotions like they're problems, when in reality, they're signals. Sadness tells you what you value. Fear shows you what matters. Confusion brings clarity. Loneliness invites you to reconnect with the real world. Your emotions don't make you weak, they make you human. But if you numb every feeling with a screen, you slowly lose the ability to understand yourself. And when you lose that, no amount of technology can save you. Now let's talk about something we're losing at a frightening speed: empathy. Empathy doesn't grow in comment sections. Empathy doesn't grow in arguments where the goal is to win. Empathy grows in presence, in listening, in seeing someone's face when they speak, in noticing the small tremble in their voice, in understanding without judgment. We can read 1,000 stories online, but none of them replace the experience of truly listening to one person in front of you. If you want to stay human, do this one simple thing: look into someone's eyes when they talk. You'll see something technology can't replicate: warmth, vulnerability, life. Which brings us to the most spiritual element of being human. Not religion, not dogma, but pure presence. Presence is the ability to be here instead of everywhere else. To taste your food instead of photographing it. To listen to music instead of using it as background noise. To enjoy a moment without documenting it. To feel love without trying to prove it online. The digital world teaches us to collect experiences, but forgets to teach us to feel them. It teaches us to respond quickly, but forgets to teach us to listen deeply. It gives us endless connections, but very few relationships. And this is where we must reclaim our humanity, by prioritizing the things that make life feel real. That's why small rituals matter. Reading without distraction, walking without headphones, eating without screens, resting without guilt, breathing without rushing, observing the world without trying to turn it into content. In those small rituals, you rediscover something you thought you lost, your sense of aliveness. And here's a truth many people need to hear. You don't have to match the speed of the digital world. You are not an app. You're not designed to update constantly. You're allowed to be slow. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to disconnect. You're allowed to not know everything. You're allowed to be human. Meanwhile, technology will keep evolving. AI will get smarter, automation faster, information louder, reality more blended with screens. But that's exactly why humanity becomes more valuable. Warmth becomes more needed. Empathy becomes more rare. Presence becomes more precious. In a hyper-digital world, the most powerful thing you can be is human. Not perfect, not constantly productive, not endlessly available, just human. Because technology is a tool, but you are the story. As long as you can feel love, feel hope, feel gratitude, feel wonder, feel connection, you're winning. The world might be digital, but you will always be human. And that is your greatest strength.